How you doing, everyone? Welcome back. Let me just adjust this real quick here. I don't know why I didn't adjust this in a couple of previous videos that I recorded, but yeah, I didn't for whatever reason. Okay, as you know, the channel is called In My Head, and it's called In My Head because this channel, the theme of this channel, is whatever is in my head, right? Whatever I'm thinking about. Often it's political. It is very often political, as you've noticed. But it's not purely political, because I think about things that, well, I guess they're over here, aren't they? My marigolds, right? I did a video that focused on marigolds and just planting things, right? I've done videos on, well, I did one on, and this is one of my very first videos about who I am, where I'm coming from, my mental health situation. You know, if you don't know, I have post-traumatic stress from my time in Iraq and Afghanistan. Some of it comes from before then, but that's where the bulk of it comes from. You know, I've done videos about feeding the birds. You know, just whatever is in my head. Like I said, mostly political content, but not always. This is not a political video. In fact, this is one where I am very specifically going to ask. I'm not one of these guys out there who says, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, put your right foot in, take your left hand out, and do the hokey pokey and all that, right? All the stuff that I'm supposed to tell you, because everybody knows that's what it's all about. So, which brings up the philosophical question: what if the hokey pokey really is what it's all about? But I digress. This channel, I'm very specifically asking for comments on this one, or this video. I am very specifically asking for comments on this because, well, that's how I can interact with you, right? I mean, it's not like if you're talking to me right now, I can't hear you because I'm recording right now, and there's a high probability that you're in Canada and I'm in Iowa, right? I did a video about that earlier, too. Thanks again, Canada. Love you. But, yeah. By the way, yeah, I'm doing this thing with my hair frequently because, as you can see, some people would say I need a haircut. I say I don't because I am growing it out so that I can donate to a charity that makes wigs for kids with cancer. Right? I am a firm believer in charitable giving of whatever type you can do. If it's simply growing your hair and donating it. If you are able to provide financial resources to charities that are important to you. If it's volunteering your time, whatever it is you can do, I am a firm believer in doing that. Right? So, and it can get overwhelming, if you try to do all of it, because nobody can do all of it. So pick one or two that you're really passionate about and focus on those. Right? Especially if you're not in a financial situation where you can't do as much as those who are in a better financial situation. I get it. But where was I going with this, right? This totally had nothing to do with anything I was about to talk I was about to talk about dying on that hill. Some controversial takes that people might have, right? Well, here are some controversial takes that I have and some hills that I am willing to die on, right? Oreo cookies are billed as milk's favorite cookie, right? I beg to differ. If you're going to go with any commercially made cookies as milk's favorite, this is a hill that I'm willing to die on. Fight me on this one. Chips Ahoy. Chips Ahoy are far superior. I mean, try eating a couple Chips Ahoy cookies and not desiring a glass of milk. Do me a favor. Go get a Chips Ahoy, go get an Oreo. Get a glass of milk. Dunk one in, dunk the other one in. Which one is better? The Chips Ahoy. I will die on that hill. Speaking of sugary things, tricks are not for kids. Yes, I'm referring to the cereal, not that kind of trick. Get your, not those kinds of tricks. Get your head out of wherever it just went. Now I'm talking about the cereal with the rabbit for a mascot. Tricks are not for kids. Another hill that I'm willing to die on. Statler and Waldorf are one Muppet. They are not two Muppets. If you don't know who Statler and Waldorf are, go watch an old episode of The Muppet Show. They're the old guys up in the balcony, the hecklers. They are one Muppet. I will die on that hill. Fight me on that one. Because just like love and marriage, you can't have one without the other. Sorry, Frankie. People hate Nickelback. They don't deserve that kind of hate. They're actually a pretty good band. I will die on that hill. Now that we are on the subject of music, in 1987, Guns N' Roses released Appetite for Destruction. Fantastic album. One of the greatest debut albums of all time, if not the greatest. That album is pretty much flawless. The worst, there are two hills I'm going to die on as it pertains to this album. Rocket Queen, the last song on the album, Rocket Queen, is the worst song on the album. I'll die on that hill. And if that's the worst song on the album, I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad song, I'm just saying it's the worst on the album, and if that's the worst on the album, you've got a nearly perfect album. Of the three major hit singles from that album, Welcome to the Jungle, Sweet Child of Mine, Paradise City. Paradise City is the best of those three. Fight me. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. Factually speaking, the Beatles are the most influential band of all time. They're not the greatest. Not even close. In fact, of the big three early British invasion bands, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and the Who is the best of the three. I'll die on that hill. You see that I'm wearing a Foreigner shirt. Great band. Nobody's favorite band, for whatever reason, but they're a great band. Everybody loves them. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Foreigner. Don't confuse that with foreigners. Unfortunately, we have people who don't like them, but everybody likes foreigner. And you may not know something as one of their songs, but if you hear it, you're going to like it. That's pretty much just the way it is. And yet, they are nobody's favorite band. Nobody will ever tell you that Foreigner is their favorite band. They are the greatest band of all time that is... I'm not saying they're the greatest band of all time. Hold on, hear me out. They are the greatest band of all time that is no one's favorite band. It's another hill I'm going to die on. Woodpeckers are vile, evil creatures. Yeah, I'm talking about the bird. Woodpeckers. They are vile, they are evil. Another hill that I'm going to die on. I mean, I get it, they have a purpose, but their purpose should not be to peck away at the siding on my house. So, I'm always fighting the woodpeckers. On the subject of birds, the less colorful females are often more attractive than the brightly colored males. That's another hill I'll die on. And, you know, if you disagree with me on any of this, or if you have your own takes, any hills that you're willing to die on, let me know. And I'll tell you why you're wrong and why I'm right, and that's all good. And we're not going to argue about it. We're just going to... Sure we will. But why not? Because it's all fun. And that's all this is. It's just a fun video. George Harrison was the most talented of the Beatles. That's another hill that I'll die on. I think that single cab trucks are better than the crew cab trucks. Unfortunately, I can't get the truck that I truly want in a single cab. But that's alright. The one that I have now is a single cab. Male cats, as a rule, generally speaking, now keep in mind I have male and female, and they're all fantastic, but male cats are generally better pets than female cats. Generally. Female dogs are generally better pets than male dogs. Just a generic rule, you know. I mean, obviously you're going to get exceptions to that. The best breed of dog is the mutt. The mongrel. Whatever you want to call it. Just throw every breed you can into a blender and whatever comes out. That's the best breed right there. That's another hill that I'll die on. What are the hills you're going to die on? You know, I mean, this could be a fun little discussion. So please, leave some comments. And since I asked you to leave comments, I might as well do the obligatory like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, and do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself around and whatever else I'm supposed to say. So, I'll catch you next time.